Welcome back to my channel, Myschyff here. Today's content, I'll be discussing my thoughts on who you should pull for in honkaistarrail version 2.5. With Feixiao, Kafka, Black Swan and Robin being officially announced in the 2.5 rerun, I'll share my opinion on units that could benefit your account and units that I think are future-proof. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I think we're all cooked on these reruns. It's just insane. Just to point out, this isn't a guide. These are simply pulling opinions for free-to-play players and for those considering investing into units, eidolons, litecoins, or all three. Alright, now without wasting any more of your time, let's get started. With Feixiao being released as one of our brand new units, she offers a lot to follow up attack comps. Being the hunt version of Akron and wants to be in comps with units that attack frequently or fast, like Sparkle or Bronya. The biggest highlight of Feixiao's kit is her ultimate carrying an insane damage multiplier that is pretty much the source of her incredible damage. If you're interested in seeing what the Feixiao mains Reddit cooked up for their calculations, I produced their findings on my last video, as well as referencing sources if you want to check out additional calculations. Now, as to pulling for Feixiao, in my opinion, is depending on what the state is for your account. If you don't have units like Akron or Firefly, I consider pulling for Feixiao. Despite being a unit that works insanely well with units like Topaz, Robin, which we'll cover shortly, and Aventurine, she does an incredible job with her free-to-play setup too, with units such as Moze, Pella, and Gallagher. Hunt March being a viable option too, but with a 3% difference in performance. Remember that all units here need to be E6 to maximize damage output. In addition, as we're shifting into a new meta through follow-up attack comps, the difficulty in MOC also increases as well. So if you guys don't want to fall too far behind in your MOC clears, pulling for Feixiao is up to you. If you're looking to secure Feixiao's eidolons and her litecoin too, then pulling for E2 is a good stopping point, as it increases her team's damage output by 1.3 times, compared to her having no eidolons. However, if you're interested in looking at future-proof investment, then Robin's eidolons can also offer similar benefits. As for litecoins, her best in slot, I venture forth to hunt, performance-wise is a 15% increase compared to a free-to-play litecoin, which is S5 swordplay. When deciding to pull for Lingsha, because Gallagher performs similar to his 5-star counterpart, it all comes down to your preference for either horizontal or vertical investment. Horizontal investment is about expanding your character roster, giving you the flexibility to try out different team combinations. This approach is great if you like having a variety of characters to choose from and adapting different challenges. Vertical investment, on the other hand, focuses on strengthening the characters you already have, enhancing them with eidolons and litecoins to maximize their effectiveness. This strategy is about making sure your core team remains strong and relevant as the game evolves. Gallagher as a 4-star character is an excellent choice if you lean toward horizontal investment. He's easy to build and offers great value, making him ideal for players who prefer to collect a wide range of characters or who aren't too concerned about the long-term viability of their break teams. In the short to medium term, Gallagher is a fantastic investment, but he's already reached his full potential, especially if you max him out at E6. On the other hand, Lingsha is built for those looking at the long-term benefits of vertical investment. Her role is specialized and difficult to replace. As a 5-star abundance unit, one of the rarest paths alongside preservation, Lingsha's niche as a break-focused sustain is likely to remain unique for a long time. According to current information, only one abundance character will be introduced in Amphorius, and it's unlikely they will be as focused on break as Lingsha is. This means her role will stay relevant for the foreseeable future. When you invest in Lingsha at E2 S1, she can significantly boost your break team's damage output, potentially by 40 to 50% compared to an E6 Gallagher. And this kind of increase is similar to the jump you see when upgrading from E2 to E6 with other top tier characters. While this might not seem essential now, future content may require that extra firepower, and having it come from your sustain slot could be crucial. Even if your break carry eventually gets replaced, Lingsha's buffs will still be valuable in maintaining high damage. As your character roster grows over time, you'll likely find yourself using a smaller selection of characters regularly. In a couple of years, you might have around 20 characters, but consistently rely on only half of the team due to limited team slots. This is where Lingsha's ability to fill multiple roles and her strong eidolons become key to keeping break teams competitive. Similar to how older characters in other games like Raiden Shogun or Yamiko in Genshin remain in use despite the release of new options. Lingsha's flexibility across different team comps, whether it's Jade, follow-up attack, or even as a hyper carry, ensures her long-term value. If you're invested in your break mechanic and want to future-proof your team, Lingsha is a great choice. However, if you already have Gallagher at E6, or if you prefer pulling a variety of characters and only plan to get Lingsha at E0 S0, it might be worth reconsidering. Ultimately, if you simply like Lingsha as a character, she's a solid investment no matter what. For Robin, I'm going to keep this brief. If you want a solid future-proof unit or missing out on anything on your follow-up team, then Robin, as of now, is pretty much the ultimate support unit in the game at the moment. If you've skipped banners to save up for Robin, congratulations, you can pull for both Feixiao and Robin. If you don't own Robin and are stuck between pulling for her and Feixiao, then your best option is to skip Feixiao and pull for Robin. Yes, Robin is that valuable to your account from a resource standpoint, but if you really want Feixiao that much, then pull for her, because at the end of the day, Star Rail is a game that everyone should enjoy. But unlike other units on this banner, Robin is a unit that is very easy to build, SP efficient, incredible personal damage too, but the only problem with her kit is the 160 energy requirement to use her ultimate. So her light cone is kind of an essential piece too for consistent usage. It is by far her best option, granting her personal attack stats and offering 15% energy regeneration. The difference between her free-to-play option for Tomorrow's Journey and Flowing Night Glow is a 13% difference according to Pridwin. Her E1 is pretty insane though, and provides a team-wide 24% all-type res pen, while Robin is in the Concerto state and is recommended for low spenders. Alright, now this section may come off as me being too optimistic if you saw my last video. In regards to pulling for Kafka or Black Swan, DOT and follow-up attack comps may dominate the meta together, something which many of the NPCs forgot to consider in my last video. Two archetypes dominated throughout 2.0 being Firefly Super Break and Hypercarry Acheron. However, as we are transitioning into a new meta through follow-up attack with the insanely fast new MOC boss Hule, DOT might be able to shine as an archetype once again, as the whole playstyle takes advantage of fast enemies by inflicting large amounts of damage, as well as being an incomplete comp, so we may see new units being introduced throughout 3.0. However, this could be wrong, which in my opinion is most unlikely, since only one meta dominating the game seems like lazy game design. In terms for pulling them individually as units, then Kafka is a staple choice if you're considering building a DOT team comp. Kafka, in my opinion, is also another future-proof unit that I don't see being power crept anytime soon, and has the potential to be a tier 0 unit, as well as slightly outperforming Jingliu and Mbaiba Lune with her current team setup. Kafka is a staple unit for DOT comps, as her kit allows her to enable DOT through her skill. Even if Hoyo introduces a new unit that performs similar to Kafka, that unit will be part of Kafka's premium team anyway, since Kafka is an enabler and a DOT unit, and having another unit that does something similar to what Kafka does just amplifies her power even more. If you're considering pulling her Eidolons, then E2 is a good stopping point. At E1, whenever Kafka triggers a follow-up attack, there is a 100% base chance to increase the DOT received by the target by 30% for 2 turns. Her E2 on the other hand increases DOT dealt by allies by 25% while she remains on the field. As for her light cone, to put it simply, the damage you deal is increased by 24%, another DOT buff from the erode effect, and a 4.8% increase in speed that stacks up to 3 times to a total of 14.4. Black Swan on the other hand is another incredible unit for DOT and outperforms E0 S1 Jiaoshu, unless you're running his E2, which makes him an insane DPS unit. Black Swan is Kafka's best partner as she improves her damage significantly. For those who are maybe running Sampo in their team comps or considering skipping her, she is better than her free-to-play option counterpart in all scenarios, being leagues ahead of Sampo in AoE and being slightly ahead in single target battles. If you're considering pulling for Eidolons, her E1 is a great stopping point for low spenders. While Black Swan is active in battle, enemies afflicted with wind shear, bleed, burn or shock will have their corresponding wind physical fire or lightning res respectively reduced by 25%. Puts it into perspective, this is an incredible upgrade if you're running the Kafka Black Swan run mate together, because run mate offers a 25% all type res pen and Black Swan reduces another 25% on the enemies, basically a 50% increase, so you're basically steamrolling the enemy. If you're considering pulling for her light cone, it isn't very much required but is a damage boost to her personal damage due to the 28% defense shred it offers, and is a 20 to 25% damage increase compared to the Eyes of Prey. And that's going to be all for this video, and I hope it contributes to your decision on who you're pulling for next patch, because from what I'm seeing, it looks like we're all finished. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe on your way out, as well as catching me on Twitch, Twitter and TikTok. Links are in the description. Let me know who you're pulling for this patch. Do you have enough? Is Feixiao worth it? Comment below. Alright, now with that being said, I'll catch you guys in a bit.